Thank you very much for coming. And this is a session on preaching in elite communities. Lack of words, I had chosen the word elite. I don't know, it can mean anything for anyone, right? It can be a movie star or it can just be a upper middle class. But anyway, we'll figure out as we go forward. So my name is Lilananda, and that's my wife, Anuradha Priya Devidasi. And we endeavored in preaching since some time. But after we relocated to Hyderabad, we started preaching in these kind of communities. So I'll quickly give an introduction about myself. That's not the agenda. Open to my screen. Yeah. So that's not the agenda, but I'll just so that we know each other, feel familiar. So ISKCON came into my life many times, but never I took it seriously. Neither could I connect. So my first job was in Kolkata. I was living in Kolkata in Toliganj Fadi. I had no clue what is ISKCON. I had no idea who is Prabhupada. And later on, when I came to ISKCON, when I came on a Kolkata Yatra, I realized I was 200 meters away from where Prabhupada lives. Prabhupada appeared. So that was an unfortunate thing about me. And then my friend called me to ISKCON Phoenix. When I was traveling to US, he called me to ISKCON Phoenix. I went there, had prasadam. Never knew it was ISKCON temple. I sat there, had prasadam, and later on she told me it was ISKCON. And I lived in ISKCON Delhi, meaning I used to work for, my customer was American Express in Delhi, and we were doing a project for them. And I booked a whole hotel, a small hotel, for the team to stay. It was right beside ISKCON Delhi. Never went to ISKCON temple. In fact, I was looking at ISKCON temple, and once I even teased, saying that International and Krishna, what kind of organization is this? Like that I told. After that, Krishna did what was needed. And then, this is the last one. So, I moved to Boston, and while I was living in Boston, the ISKCON 32 Commonwealth Avenue ISKCON temple was just 200 meters away from my office, but never went to the temple. I always was looking at the board and just passing by. But finally, so Krishna tried so many ways, but I was too conditioned to see him. But finally when devotees came, then things changed. Am I audible, bro? Is it okay? Yeah. So when devotees came, things changed. The devotees came right in front of my house, and it was Srinivas Acharya Prabhu and Radhika Kripa Mataji in Boston. And then his wife came and told my wife that there is a spiritual program. Would you want to come? There is a satsang, Bhagavad Gita satsang, would you want to come? And my wife asked me, would you want to go to the satsang? Because she told, we will go, I told no. And because I told no, she made sure I went. So it was a fight. It was a fight even to go to the satsang. But anyway, we landed up there. And then the beauty of satsang. And the first time in my life, I saw something like that, where a husband is chanting Hare Krishna and playing mridanga, and the wife is playing kartal, and they had a small child, 1.5, 2 years old, Gauranga. He was dancing in between. So this was a sight that I had never seen in my life, where a couple doing something together and the child dancing in between. So after the whole session, that Prabhuji asked everybody there that what did you like in this session? And everybody was saying the philosophy, the Bhagavad Gita, the shloka. I frankly didn't listen to any of the session. I was just looking at both of them. So at the end of the session, I told them that if your session means that my family will become like your family, I want it. Because that's what I want my family to be. Where both me and my wife will do the same activity and will enjoy being together. So that was my introduction to ISKCON. That was how I was preached. And there were many blessed souls. Really, my dear Shiksha Gurus who helped me come to Krishna consciousness in Boston. Madhavendra Puri Prabhu in Boston, he is a physicist, a very senior devotee. He was there in the temple. And Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, his wife, and Yugal Kishore Prabhu, he is a traveling preacher in US. So he also was instrumental. So many people carved a very hard stone to come towards Krishna consciousness. And then we got initiated in 2013 by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And we were blessed to get initiated there. And then my parents, they got initiated in 2019. So our entire family is converted now. So anyway, so we are very happy. And thank you, Shari Prabhu, for coming. Yeah, Prabhuji knows me since my 2000 say 2012 days, 2011, something like that. Yeah, yeah. So he visited our house in US. So this is a brief history. It's not today's agenda. That's my old picture. You can see, I don't know how much satsang has grown, but I have grown. Yeah, become very obese now. And these are our deities in our house we worship. Radha Gopi Vallabha, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and Nitai Gauranga. So it coincidentally happened that the first temple that we went to was Radha Gopi Vallabh in Boston. And we always wanted to see the deities after coming back to India. Like just a craving, just go back and see. And when we took Radha Krishna in front of Guru Maharaj, he named them as Radha Gopi Vallabh. So it's a coincidence that the whole circle came back to the same deities. Very fortunate that we're serving them. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. They're home deities. Me and my wife, we together worship them. Yeah, these are our home deities, a little temple in the house. So that's about me. We're taking a lot of time of yours. Sorry. So opportunity to serve. So how many here have been to Hyderabad? Lift your hand. Any time been to Hyderabad? Okay. Been to Hyderabad? Yes. Airport. So you had an overview of Hyderabad. So this is Hyderabad, Google Maps. So there are 3 temples in Hyderabad, the old ones. Here is Radha Madan Mohan Mandir. This was opened by Srila Prabhupada. Nampally. Yes, that's right, Prabhu. And this is ISKCON Secunderabad, Radha Gopinath Mandir. And this is Krishna Balram Mandir, opened by Srila Prabhupada in Medchal farm. It's called a farm called Medchal. Even now it's in the outskirts of Hyderabad. Prabhupada got like more than 500 acres that time. But yes. Yes, yeah. Badruka family had given that. Family name was Badruka. So they had given, and later on we lost 450 acres. We only have 50 acres now. That's a different story. So now we have 50 acres, and there is still the temple there. Thanks to His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj and few other sannyasis who actually went there and saved what we have there right now. So these are the old temples, and there are 2 other temples that came by, ISKCON Rampalli and ISKCON Attapur. These are new ones. Okay. So why am I showing this map? There is a reason why. This is the old city of Hyderabad. Can you see it, Mataji, from the back? Are you able to see on the screen? Okay. So this is the circle, which is the old city, right? This is the old city of Hyderabad. But, and these are the outskirts. The remaining 2 temples are still the outskirts. Not much population lives there. But why am I showing this map is because the whole city is moving towards a different direction now. This is called the western side of the city, right? So this is a circle. When we talk about Hyderabad, we talk about IT. A lot of people say information technology, right? And all the new companies, all the new universities, so-called educational institutions, everything is coming this side. As you can see, these are the buildings, and even huge, like 50-story buildings, very, very, skyscraper building. It's all happening there. It's a new side of the city, and the biggest of the companies are coming, the biggest of the education institutions are coming, the biggest of the colleges, universities, Indian School of Business is coming. So when so much money is coming, so will come the biggest hospitals. So the biggest hospitals are also coming there. People are in too much anxiety. Now, a large part of the city is moving, but as you can see, there is no ISKCON that side. There is no ISKCON that side. ISKCON is only here in this side of the city. I'll say ISKCON doesn't even cover more than 20% of the city right now. It's 1.2 crore population, right? City itself, which is more than a country in many ways. Now, so there was a opportunity to preach. So my Siksha Guru is His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. So he keeps visiting, and from 2016 he has been guiding me. Okay, continue, try to get into these communities. Now, what is a elite community or a gated community, so to say, right? We all know. How many here have lived ever in a gated community? Been there? Yeah. So some of you might already know. Gated community is a place which is completely surrounded by a huge wall, and inside there are many houses, and they are controlled environment where they have everything inside, security and everything. So everything money can buy, high security, high amenities, all comforts, hospitals, schools, everything is there inside, right? They barely go out for anything, even recreation parks, gyms, everything. So this is where theaters also some of them have. And who stays in them? Top executives, directors, vice presidents, owners, entrepreneurs, highly influential and intellectual people, right? So to say, these are the people who live in them. Now, Prabhupada says, preach to the leaders. Whether we like it or not, these are the leaders who stay there. These are the people who can make a change in the world, right? I mean, they are very influential people. They stay in these communities. So, okay, these are some good things. I'll tell you some more good things about these communities. No one's happy there because they want to be happy. They want to find happiness in that community. They can't be happy because they're really searching for it. So they get frustrated for small little things. They are too impatient to live there. Living there is like, I mean, I'm really telling, if I was not preaching, I would never prefer to live there. Because they fight for no reason. No reason. Just people look at each other and they start fighting. Why are you looking at me? It starts like that. So you can't believe that, once I got a call from the security guard saying that a sari from my balcony has gone in front of the balcony of my neighbor below. Right? And I know that neighbor. They could have called me directly, but they don't call directly. They lodge a complaint in a security office, and the security office calls me saying that, can you pull the sari up? Because it's kind of covering the flat below. This is the kind of mentality I'm talking about. So if you are parking your car, you better be inside the line. If you are on the line, you get a call. Or even you might even get a notice saying that, don't you know how to park your car? You are occupying my space, right? So I'm sure by now you know what kind of people I'm talking about, right? What kind of people I'm talking about? By now you would have understood, right? Yeah. Yes, yes. Too impatient, very impatient people, lonely families, no relationships, nobody calls anybody else to the house. Though it's a huge community living with each other, nobody says, please come to my house. If you call them saying, I want to talk to you, they'll say, oh, even I want to talk to you, let's walk in the corridor. They'll never say, come home, right? Once, when some senior preacher was telling me once that, why does anyone decorate a house? When somebody decorates a house, so you can call people. But when somebody decorates a house and does not call people, that's like a snake hole. Right? Snakes live like that. They decorate their whole hole and you keep your hand inside, they'll immediately bite you. So I live in a community of snake holes, right? Basically. So that's pretty much about them. And there's a huge rule book for everything. Because rule book, a huge constitution rule book. They want to make sure that people live like this. They don't want any difference. Even the color that you paint in your balcony matters. Right? It's your own house, but it's not your house. You have to maintain all those expectations. And secular mindset, right? They don't want any good activity in the community. The moment you say, I'm going to do a Bhagavad Gita satsang, they'll say, why not a Quran? Why not a Bible? Why only Bhagavad Gita? I'm like, I know Bhagavad Gita. I can do Bhagavad Gita. No. You do Quran and Bhagavad Gita, then we'll allow Bhagavad Gita. And then if you get Quran, they'll say, no, secular. No, nothing. You're not going to start anything here. So forget about Rath Yatra, forget about anything. You can't do anything in those communities, even though you're inside. It's very difficult. And we went through our own struggles, Even if you want to do little book distribution, they don't allow it. They say that if you distribute this, somebody else will distribute something else and they will stop it. How many are familiar with what I'm speaking? Okay, great. So we are on the same page. Oh gosh, whole country is a great community. Opulent festivals, they spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees. No God. There's no God. It's only for sense gratification. Whether it is Deepavali, Sankranti, Ugadi, name it. All these festivals are purely for sense gratification. And there is one festival called Ganesh festival. They happen to get a Ganesh idol, but Ganesh ji must be thinking, what am I doing here? Like, they do every nonsense in front of him. Like, it's complete absurd. You can't tolerate it. People are stressed out with big loans. Now, these communities, people buy flats or villas paying a fortune money, which they can't afford, right? Just imagine a 28-year-old person buying a 4 crore flat, right? With his entire 80% of his salary going for the home loan. And he loses his job. You can't imagine what his life is, right? So they live in anxiety. Once I was standing in a balcony, I saw normal labor going in a cycle. I felt at least I am seeing one person with his own vehicle. Because everybody else, all the vehicles are owned by banks. All the flats are owned by banks. Nobody owns any flat there, right? So this is a reality. So godless society, pretty much all these societies are godless because no stoppage in water, no stoppage in electricity. Why do I need God? They don't realize they have any problems because nothing stops. Everything is facilitated. So anyway, so this is our satsang. As you can see, we call it Gachibowli satsang. The name of the place is Gachibowli. That's all it is. So we call it Gachibowli satsang group. So we started in a small way, 10 people in 2015, 10 families, and then it started growing and we started working in relationships, and then slowly it expanded. I have lived in 3 gated communities, Prabhuji. It's actually in different gated communities. This picture is in one flat, this picture another flat. So we started satsangs inside our houses in a very small way, humble way. Whoever came, we started working with them. And in 2015 we started, 2016 His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu started guiding us. He started coming to Hyderabad. And in 2018 we got affiliated with the temple. Hyderabad temple adopted us as a satellite center. And we started working with them. Very happy to share that in the last 6.5 years, we are now 16 places satsang is happening. Where we started as one place, 16 places, it's happening. Thank you. And we are directly reporting to HTMC. We call it Hyderabad Temple Management Committee. It's not any one president anymore. It's 4 presidents for Hyderabad Temple. So we call them on Sunday evenings. We call special speakers or temple presidents to come and address us once in a while. And we got approval as an extension center, ISKCON Gachibowli, very recently. Yeah, so together our satsang is right now, we have 120 core members. Practicing devotees who are chanting 16 rounds, around 90. And more than 50 have completed their Bhakti Shastri. And some of them got initiated, some of them are in the process. So this is where we currently stand right now. So why am I presenting this today? Actually, this is my first ILS. It's first time me coming to something like ILS. And I was completely planning to sit there and listen and learn. But Radheshyam Prabhu in the last minute said, you are going to just present what you have done there. Maybe it will be useful for people. Just show the process that we follow. So I'm going to share with you a methodology that we adopted, right? And you can also share your views, and I can make a note and implement at my place. So what we do, there is a 6-step process. It looks like a management document. So publicity, data capture, DCS allocation, sessions, work week engagement, and next steps. These are the 6 layers. I'll try to explain what we do. The first thing that we do is we do a lot of publicity. Yeah, that the satsang is going to start. A new batch is going to start. So every year we start a new batch. Every year. Like for example, I am preaching. So I have started a batch in 2017. I have started a batch in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 22 and 23 also I am starting a new batch. So what do I do with the people who come in the old batch, right? So if they came. So basically I do 12 sessions. I do 12 sessions of science of self-realization. And then after that 12 sessions, I see whoever is serious. If they are serious, they come to the evening batch, right? So evening batch is the core group. So there are 16 preachers like me now in 16 different places. So all these 16 preachers, they do their morning batches for new people in their respective societies. So the new people come and they conduct these 12 sessions. After that, they start teaching Bhagavad Gita, verse by verse, chapter by chapter. Over a period of time, we clearly see who is understanding the philosophy and adopting to it. And they become part of our evening satsang. Evening satsang is all the preachers coming to one place and I address them and we discuss the plans, the future plans. And we also discuss Shastra. And we call some elite preachers, elite speakers, senior devotees, sannyasis, whenever they come. That's Sunday evening for us. Did everybody understand what is Sunday morning, Sunday evening? So Sunday morning is for new people. Sunday evening is for the core congregation. That's how we do. At one place. But not the whole group, just the preacher. Just the preacher who is preaching there. They come to one place and there can be few others who are not preaching but supporting them. Right? The core congregation, we come Sunday evening at one place. So publicity. So if I want to start satsang, say for example, today 16th of February, if I want to start a new batch, I will at least keep 4 weeks from now, right? So which is like 15th of March. I will not start anything before 15th of March because I need 4 weeks for publicity. So what do we do for publicity? We create some attractive videos, with feedback of people who have already attended. They will come and tell how they felt about the satsang. Very important. Now, because we are dealing with crowd there, which will compare an Avatar movie and a satsang, right? They want it to be more attractive than Avatar movie. So I have to do something, we have to do something more attractive, right? So I'll show you a sample of, a promo video, like this one.
Everything in our culture, it has a great meaning behind it.
It really lifted my spirits and I feel amazing. I think everyone should get a chance to listen to what he has to say. A very enriching and a very eye-opening session.
My name is Pratibha Agarwal. It was a wonderful, enriching experience and we were actually thirsty for more. And I'm really looking forward to attend many more of his sessions. Thank you.
My name is Sanga.
Beyond our expectations, how the SSRS sessions went and how they kept helping us in everything that we were doing. Hare Krishna.
And my takeaway from SSR is that Prabhuji had told us that whatever you do, you put God in the center and do it and everything will come its way. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I have attended CSR and Bhagavad Gita course.
So this is a promo video. So promo video is nothing but new people. You have seen some people sitting down. That was in a yoga studio, right? So they were all sitting down and we gave a one-time session. Later on you saw devotees who already attended and you already practicing. You can see a difference. They are wearing tilak and all that, right? So they give a promo saying that, okay, you also attend these sessions, it's good for you. So when people see these kind of videos, they feel a little more convinced that, okay, this is a very organized place, we should go and attend and register ourselves for this course. So how do we promote? What we do is we create a WhatsApp group, right? We create a WhatsApp group and nobody is there in that WhatsApp group, it's empty WhatsApp group. We take a link of that WhatsApp group and we create a message, an invitation message that please come and register. In that message, we keep a link of that WhatsApp group that you can click. As soon as you click, you join that group, right? And then we also keep this video there, the link of this video, YouTube uploaded video link we keep. So people read that content, they click on that, they join that group. And we just viral this message, in Instagram, name it, Facebook, WhatsApp groups, in that community. So every community has a big Telegram group, a WhatsApp group, you know what I'm saying. So there will be like 1,000 families in that, you go and push that message inside. Once in a week you send it, change the banner, make it more attractive and send it. So what people will do is they'll keep clicking it. So at the end of 3 weeks, you'll have something like 240 people who have clicked it. Now you'll see like 240 numbers. You don't know who they are. They may or may not be from their community also. Remember that. Because the WhatsApp is everywhere. Somebody might be in Canada who clicked it. Somebody might be in Bhubaneswar who clicked it. Right? But mostly it is the people from the community. So first is we make these promo videos professionally. We viral them and we send them in all platforms. Right? Second is the important part. Data capture. Now this is the most difficult part. Where after 3 weeks of sending this viral and we have those 250 phone numbers, I take two days leave from the office. I pick up the phone and every day I call 120 people, right? Just call them and ask who they are. So when I call them, I maintain an Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, I capture most of the information I need, right? What is their name? What is their wife's name, spouse name, children's name? Where are they calling from? What are their expectations of coming to this session? What do they really want to do there? We just ask them openly. And of course, there is a way to talk so that they feel comfortable to reveal that information. So once they reveal, then what happens is we get to know few things. Like they may not be from this country. In some cases, they may not be from Hyderabad. So when they are not from Hyderabad or this country, we tell them that you can go to the local ISKCON temple and register there. The same course is being given there also. We tell them and we encourage them to go. So say for example, if you got 240 people, 40 members are gone in this category. Like they don't belong to Hyderabad. Then the remaining 200. In that remaining 200, we get to know that another 30 people are devotees. They're already in some other group, some other temple, they're connected, they clicked it. So we tell them to leave the group because this is a group only for new people preaching. Because sometimes we experience some challenges having existing devotees. They send some messages right in the front which people get bewildered a little without proper orientation. Tell them that we are preaching new people. You can leave this group. This is not for already practicing devotees. And next is then now we are landing up with 170 odd, right? Now 170 odd in the same city now we have, but they may not be very close to our house. They might be 50 kilometers away. Some might be 20 kilometers away. But we tell them that please come and attend these 12 sessions. After these 12 sessions, you can make a choice whether you want to continue or we will join you to some other place which is close to your house. So then we also capture all that information and like location, family, vocation, even where they work, offices, all the details we take in Excel sheet. I'll tell you why we take these details is because this is important for our DCS allocation. There's something called DCS allocation. Now what is DCS allocation? DCS means devotee care servant. The families that I had preached in the beginning who became nicely fixed in Krishna consciousness, now they assist me for preaching. They assist me for preaching. So we call them as DCS. So I cannot speak to 170 people personally. That's not possible. It's not humanly possible. So what we do is every 20 people, we allocate them to one DCS family. Now how do we allocate? Depending on the gender. Like if only Matajis are coming, one Mataji will be assigned to all those Matajis. And depending on language, if somebody Tamilians are there, so we rather have a Tamilian person dealing with them. So they feel more comfortable. And if they are coming from one side of a city, location, we try to identify that side persons as together under one DCS because they can be helpful in transportation pooling, so they can come together easily without any problem, right? So DCS is allocated based on how to make them comfortable. And what the DCS does, I'll tell you very simple. What he does is after my 2 days of calling, third day we do the DCS allocation. It's very important the last week. And they get 2 days to call them. So each one of the DCS calls them again and says, reminding them, so Mataji and Prabhuji, you are going to come to this Sunday program. Do you remember? I am your DCS. When you come, I'll be in blue color shirt. You can recognize me, or I'm in red color shirt. You can recognize me. So they try to form a subgroup within the group, right? Small subgroups, right? And the DCS, actually the preaching is done by the DCS, frankly speaking, because the DCS really connects with them. And they even go to the point of asking, do you have any food requirements? If you are diabetic, we have a separate meal for diabetic, like fruits or something like that. And whatever they prefer, like as soon as the people enter the hall, after so much of follow-up, as soon as they enter the hall, immediately the DCS goes, makes them sit comfortably, the chair, the position, the children are taken care in a different room, because our sessions are 3-hour sessions. So when we start, it's 3 hours. It just starts at 5 o'clock, goes till 8 o'clock, right? So 3 hours the children should be engaged, 3 hours they should feel comfortable. And we also book a big hall, AC air conditioned hall. It's expensive, but we do that because these community people, they expect it to be really perfectly done. So this DCS is actually the people who go and connect with everyone, and they make sure that, they do another one thing. After the session, while they are giving prasadam, they sit with them and they ask, were you comfortable with what you heard? Did you find everything that he told is right? If you object to something, can you tell me what your questions are? So they follow up and they give that questions back to me, so in the next session I can address them, right? So they make sure that everybody who is coming is comfortable. What that does is the 170 or 140 which we landed up with, maximum it goes to 120. It doesn't go below that, right? So 120 people finish the entire 12 sessions, right? So DCS, it plays a very important role. And it even goes to a point where some DCS families even call them for a dinner in between the week, saying that, why don't we meet offline, Why only on the session? Let's get to know each other more. Or they sometimes meet them in the office if they belong to the same office. Is everyone understanding what I'm speaking? Yeah? Please stop me. I might be going a little faster. I use the word elite actually in the, I'll tell you how it took birth. The name of the topic was completely different. But then in the chart, when they were printing the topics, they found the box is too small. So she asked me to tell the name. I said, okay, preaching to elite communities. So she wrote it. Actually, it's not really elite, but it's in the category of higher upper middle class people, families, So, who are very educated and intellectually, well settled, big positions like that. Yes, mostly, yeah. So, yeah, but some of them are really well off. I'll say most of them are very well off, because to buy an apartment or a villa in those communities is very expensive. Like in crores, 4 or 5 crores at least you have to spend. That is the kind of money I'm talking. Minimum $1 million house, right? Is the house that we. Oh no, you don't need to. So that's a good question. So if you want to preach in a community like that, if you are not living there, you should know somebody who is living there. You should know somebody who is living there, so that you can get in. He will post on your behalf. So we need somebody inside to get inside. But once we get inside, we start making friends with many. And even the person who is calling us is naturally a devotee. He may not be preaching, but is supporting the preaching. Something like that. Yeah. So we take care of people, and pretty much what I said, everything is coordinated. 3-hour sessions, separate session for children. And so DCS is the one who, and there's one more thing, work week management. So during the week, what happens, right? So the session happens on Sunday. From Monday to Saturday, question answers are sent in the group. So whatever you heard during the session, one Mataji will be there. She will be writing questions, 5 questions every day, saying what is the common between animals and human being. Like choose the following, fill in the blanks. We have some teachers who are part of our group. So teachers are very good at writing question papers. So she sends the questions so everybody gets to participate, answer the question. So in 1 week, the revision also happens. And after the 1 week, they are pretty much clear about what we discussed last week. So that is a work week engagement. And as I said, some private dinners also, private lunch, wherever they can meet, they try to develop a relationship. And the next steps, yeah. So now the 12 sessions are over. Right now 12 sessions, what has happened in these 12 sessions is, people have become friends. That's what is the goal. Like the DCS family, Devotee Care Servant family, has become a good friend with at least 20 families. Right? He knows them in person. Right? And while we save our contacts in the phone also, say for example, Mr. Suresh, his wife's name is Radhika and daughter's name is Radha, for example. So I don't save as Suresh, I'll say Suresh, Radhika, Radha. Like that I save my contact. So when I get a call from Suresh, hey, hello Suresh Prabhu, how are you? So is Radhika Mataji doing good? By the way, is Radha playing? So he knows, these people, they are very personal. It might be a materialistic way of doing things, but it helps us connect with people, and because I can't remember all the names, the contact shows me everything. So DCS does all these things. He makes sure that they are good friends. So what happens is, after 12 sessions, after they have spent 3 hours into 12, which is 36 hours with us, and with all the care that has happened, they really feel obliged. They feel nice about it. Their experience is very good. So then we ask them, okay, are you going to join the evening batch? Are you going to join the Bhagavad Gita batch? We're going to start Bhagavad Gita every week. Most of them say yes, but some of them say no because they live too far. This 12 sessions was okay, 50 kilometers one way, but it can't go beyond that. So then we ask them to join the local, any other preaching center there or any other group there. We try to map. But unfortunately, our success rate of mapping is not more than 10%. Because they don't go. After the 12 sessions, they are like happy. For whatever reason, even though we say, please go, they don't go. Virtually, we are in touch. Once in a year, at least I call them and ask how you are doing. Because we have some relationship. But one thing that we do before that is the last session, after 12 sessions, we give a Srimad Bhagavatam session. Where we explain them what is Srimad Bhagavatam. And we tell them this is Krishna. And you have to take Krishna with you. Before we disperse, take Krishna with you. And this is one thing that really happens good. At the end of the session, we sell close to 120 Bhagavatam sets at once. So everybody takes one set to their house. They buy it. They take it. So our book distribution is done. And by that time, the 12th session, we also sell a lot of small books of Prabhupada. We keep them in, while the session is happening, a book table there. So every week they come, they take two books. So the book set of Prabhupada is gone to their houses. Now the next step is how they proceed from there. So whoever is coming regularly for the Bhagavad Gita, they continue coming for a few more weeks. And when we see that they become matured, then we say, why don't you come to the evening batch? And the morning batch again becomes free. So we start a new batch again next year. So 1 week with the new people. Yeah. You can say out of 120 people, around 20 people come to the evening batch. So that is how in the last 7 years we have become 120. 120 people, yeah. No, it's like around 70 families. Yeah. And they come to the evening batch. Evening batch is what I'm saying. Yeah. Morning batch is always different. So I'll show you a. So morning batch, who was asking, bro? Oh, sorry, I didn't see it. Yeah. So, Prabhu, morning batch, I prefer to take early, 7:30 to 10:30. That's the 3 hour time in the morning, because after that 10:30, they have kind of a heavy breakfast and their whole Sunday is theirs. So the attendance is always good when it's in the morning. But some other devotees, they take from 10:30 to 1:30. So it depends, which preacher wants to take at what time. They take a consensus and take. I'll show you a glimpse of one of the morning batches, you can see. This is how it is in a community.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
So this is like one of the morning batches. So similar batches are there in 16 communities. 16 communities. So every Sunday morning, a similar batch is happening in different communities. Preachers. Yeah, 16 preachers who are doing in 16 communities. Yeah, SSR, first SSR classes, then Bhagavad Gita classes. And they are also assisted by different DCS. For example, say this Prabhuji is part of, I'm just saying, you are part of one of our group, so you want to preach. So then we support you with another 5 families. So when you start a batch there, those 5 families will come and become DCS for you. Right? Like that we expand and we kind of help the other preachers settle down. Yeah. Evening is one batch, where all the preachers come together. And few other settled people who are supporting, all the DCS also comes together and we have a common satsang. Evening 5 to 9. Every Sunday, yeah.
So Sunday, you go from like 7:30 to 2:30, 7:30
To 10:30.
10:30, and then in the evening you go from
5 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
5 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So Sunday is completely preaching. Yeah. Sunday is, so Saturday we don't keep anything because children, they have their separate session during the morning time. And during the evening time, now all our children have grown up. They are almost in the teens now. So we have requested Adesham Prabhu to have a separate session for the children. So he's arranging them. All the children above 8 years, they sit and hear with us. They sit and hear. They sit with us and they see the presentation. They also hear what we are preaching. So it's not like, because we use a lot of material, a lot of pictures, a lot of videos. They don't mind sitting and listening. Few of them go and, they have their own group activities. They just go out and play. We don't disturb them too much. Sometime they spend with us, sometime on their own in the community. But now we are devising some special classes for them. In the interest of time, I'll just go a little fast. Yeah, they have playgrounds, tennis courts. Yeah, you have everything. Yeah. So, basically, it's all devotee care servants. So, our formula here is devotee care. Because we really focus a lot on making sure that whoever comes is nicely taken care. That's why they stay. And eventually, like I said, and we keep some strict rules. Now, this is something unique. So, I keep a very strict rule. For example, one of the rules I keep is, if you are married, you have to get your wife. You have to get your husband. You can't come alone. Right? Sometimes they say, my husband is not interested. We said, that's okay, but you have to get him. First 2 sessions, you have to get him. Otherwise, we will not allow you. So, we kind of mandate it. Some people don't like it. How can you say like that? If he is not interested, spiritual life, it's my personal. So, you're married now, you get your spouse. So, we lose some people also in the process, but whoever stays back are really families who have been very nicely, they progressed and we have seen results out of it. And it also happened that the wife told the husband is not interested, but he came and he became more interested than her, It also happens like that, because the first experience really changes their idea of, religion is seen in a very negative way, but when they see this kind of get-togethers, they become very happy.
It's also true that if the husband on one page and the wife on the other page, that it's not going to last.
Yeah, Prabhu, and we have so many counseling problems, like later on I'm not teaching Bhagavad Gita, I'm doing marriage counseling after some time, It becomes like more problematic. So Radhesham Prabhu also told. Yeah, confusion for the kids. See, I teach the husband not to eat non-veg. His wife still wants to cook non-veg. He can't tell her no onion garlic. Nothing works. And then afterwards we have to sit with him and sympathize him for his situation. And we don't have time for that. So we say that in the beginning itself, get your spouse, get your children also. We tell them get your children, mandated. You can't tell your children are not coming. You have to bring them. We will take care of them. If they are above 7, they can sit and hear. And it has really worked. Yeah. Yeah, I'm selective. But it's not like, it happens that in spite of me telling, still a lady comes alone. We don't tell her to go out, like, okay, we told our part, we did our part. If you're still wanting to come alone, you still have so many differences with your husband, we can't do much, right? You can still sit. But we have seen 99% cases where the spouse is not agreeing, they eventually go away. Yeah, because it's not going to work. Our process is so much that, yeah. So, like this objection, I don't know if you can read here, but I'm afraid to see your message containing a lot of compulsions. One person blasted on me saying, how can you put so many conditions, for all this? But before I replied, 4 people replied in the same group saying, we like conditions. We like conditions. It's good. And Radhesham Prabhu also says, if you maintain high standards, you get people with high standards. So it's better to have people who are, good to work with us. Something like that. So, these are the communities. For example, I said Aliens Group. So, this community is being preached by Mahesh Prabhu and wife Prashanti Mataji. This has 1,000 flats. 40 people are coming. This has My Home Avatar, Subbarao and Prabhu and Nurupama. 3,000 flats, 45 people are coming. So, like this, what we started as one has gone into 16 different colonies and communities. Right? And all of them, cooking happens at one place, centralized kitchen. We have a voice center. Youth preaching center, there the cook we have an agreement with him. So he cooks the same menu for all the places. So in the morning he cooks for 400 people, 40 here, 10 here, 50 here. The whole carriers go out and our Sunday morning is nicely taken care. Now you might be asking, where is the funds coming from? Did anybody get that out? Where are we getting the money to do this? Right? Yeah. So money is always a challenge. At least it costs us nothing less than 30,000 rupees for one session. Because to book the hall in that kind of community is nothing less than 15-20,000. And the kind of meal we serve is nothing less than 9-course meal. Like what Gauranga Prabhu is serving here. We try to match that. Because we want that to be the best meal of the week. So we take care of the first 2. We budget for it. We are a satsang, we budget for it. The first 2 satsangs, we sponsor it. And while we sponsor it, we tell that this is sponsored by my father, or this is my wife's birthday, she is sponsoring, or my son's birthday. We show them that there is the possibility of sponsoring. We don't expect that. We just show them that. And surprisingly, without even saying a word, 3rd session onwards, all the satsangs are self-sponsored. And after 12 satsangs, we are left with another 30-40,000 rupees that we can use for a finale. Like where the final satsang in a big grand way we do, and we call a guest speaker, or we give them some extra meal, or we give them some free books. We do all that. So everything is financed. And we have one devotee, Sri Gopal Agarwal, he's Agarwal, so the best person to take care of finance. They know how to handle it. Yeah. So, as I showed the footprint in the beginning, this was the part of the Hyderabad where there was no ISKCON center. If I just expanded, this is how it used to look like. Now by God's grace, this family is preaching in the north, this family is preaching in the west. So 16 places. ISKCON is right now in 16 places.
Are these preachers, are they 16 rounds?
Yes.
Many of them are initiated.
No, not initiated. I'll tell you how we select the preachers. So these people, most of these preachers are highly qualified and well-established managers or senior people in some companies. For them, managing a group is not a problem. They are already managing 50, 60 people. So we go with the concept. If you can't preach Arjuna and keep him on bench. Arjuna, you can't preach Arjuna and keep him on bench. Yeah, he has to be on action. So they want to get there. Yeah. So after 2 years of 16 rounds minimum, they have to chant 2 years of 16 rounds without any stoppage, following 4 regulatory principles for 2 years, no onion, no garlic, and they are convinced on Prabhupada's philosophy, and they want to preach, we support them. Go ahead and start in your community, and we will support them with DCS families. This is how we encourage them to come forward. And these all families, it's not that they all came on the same day. Like the first family who came forward to preach is this family. They relocated from US, from Seattle. Praveen Prabhu, he works in Microsoft, senior manager. She works in Suma Mataji. She works in Salesforce as a director. They're very well off, educated people, and they start their preaching in their community. So they started in Trendset, somewhere here, Trendset, yeah. So then it was followed by Subbarao Prabhu and family here, then Mahesh Prabhu and family here. So every year, one preacher gets encouraged to come forward, and we support. They see that it's happening. So same formula we use, same kind of publicity, same kind of WhatsApp group, same kind of calling. So they know what to do. Once they have been a DCS, they know how to run as an individual. So far, some of them got initiated, like Udayananda Prabhu, where is it? Yeah. So he got initiated by Rompad Swami Maharaj recently. And there is one more. Yeah, Raghunandan Prabhu. He is an initiated devotee. He was already initiated before he came to us, so he joined our group. So this is where we are. And by all your blessings and prayers, we might continue to grow like this. Please pray for us. So Sunday evenings, as I said, I do that satsang, and other than that, during the week also we have Mataji's virtual classes. Once in 1 hour every day, my wife conducts it, and we have every weekday morning, half an hour of Prabhupada book reading and half an hour of chanting together. That one other devotee can. Now it's not mandated that everybody has to attend everything. Whoever can attend will attend, but this is the available slot of time. They can join. All this is virtual. Yeah, weekdays is virtual. And Bhakti Shastri also is virtual. 50 devotees have finished last year thanks to COVID. Everybody were at home. They finished the Bhakti Shastri. And so we did 4 Rath Yatras in 4 communities so far. It was not easy to get in there, but initially we used to face, we are secular, you can't enter, you can't do this and all that, right? I started with that. But now I have 20 families in that community who are our people, right? So now if somebody comes and says, this is secular, 20 people will go to his house and ask, what is your problem? Immediately he'll go inside and say, please go ahead and do it. Right? So when you have your workforce, that is the trick. When you have your workforce, when you have your, devotee families, you can penetrate into these gated communities. Alone, you cannot. So you have to invest 2 to 3 years of making sure that, those people are nicely settled. I'll show you a glimpse of Rath Yatra, quick one. Like this one. This is in a gated community, we had done a Rath Yatra. So this is a kind of Rath Yatra. We do Rath Yatra in different communities. So like this community we had In 2020, like 1500 members joined, 1500 people from the community joined, not a morsel of prasadam was left. Right? In fact, Radhesham Prabhu told that when we do Rath Yatra on the main roads, when in the main roads, hardly people come. It's the devotees only walking with the Rath. And people in the stores are just sitting inside. We go and give them prasadam. But when you do this Rath Yatra inside a community, it's like literally going into their houses. And they all become very personal. They bring their offerings, they come there and they start offering and things like that, right? So, so far 4 communities we have done. And with all your blessings, we want to do in 9 communities this year. So we have plans. We already have built a Rath. We are building another Rath. We have to do parallel Rath Yatras now because we only get 1 weekend to do Rath Yatras. Because of the, I think the new rule that ISKCON has that you can only do within the 9 days. And yeah, but Jagannath only the 9 days. Yeah, exactly. So we only get 1 weekend. So in the 1 weekend we have to pull off everything. So we do Bhagavad Gita circles, as you can see. This during Gita Jayanti, everybody sits in a circle. They read the entire Bhagavad Gita. And these are morning online programs. Every Saturday, Sunday and Ekadashi we have morning Mangalarti followed by Bhagavatam class. Every week, morning Sunday. No, in the virtual. Yeah. And then we go on yatras. As you can see, we all have gone to many yatras so far together. And we do festivals like Festival of Inspiration. We copied that from New Vrindavan. We call 9 preachers on a single day, morning till night, 9 speakers, 9 topics. So just to inspire, because we want different sannyasis, different disciples, different gurus, everybody should come there and show ISKCON is a bigger organization than what we are currently there. We do a lot of services with Jagannath Prasadam for the main Rath Yatra. We distribute behind the Rath. And we also manage the media services because most of our crowd is IT people. So they help the temple in making websites, apps and connecting to social media. We do that other service. And there are a lot of youth preachers. So far we are 14 youth preachers. Whenever there is a need for going and preaching in a college, like these people go. Like when these people go, it's a difference, right? He is the India head of Clarinet Technologies. It's a 1500, it's a huge company, billion dollar company. When an India head from that company goes to a college and says, I'm talking here, the college principal runs and comes, okay sir, please tell me, how are you comfortable? High profile people, when they go there is a big difference in youth preaching. Like Microsoft, for example, where is that? Yeah, Praveen Prabhu. So he went to one college. He is a senior manager in Microsoft. So he goes there for campus recruitment. Now he is going there and giving a lecture. So the value is more. So youth preaching also, it's very helpful. And each family owns a cow. And together we take care of 59 cows. We have a Goshala. So, and this cow thing we started around 4.5 years back. And it helps us stay together as a community. It helps us bond more easily. Because I have a private small farmhouse little far from my home. So we all go there, stay there. We also maintain cows there. So I personally take care of them every Saturday. And from where we stay it is 35 minutes. 35 minutes one-way drive. So even Krishnanand Prabhu came, stayed with us once. And that's Radhesham Prabhu doing a session in that community. Once we even had a brahmachari camp there for 4 days. So we get to serve so many things and we also get to experience Association of Senior Devotees. A lot of youth camps happen there. They take the place and they do the youth camps. Hare Krishna. Yeah, and we do book distribution. I'm just ending with that. We sponsor a lot of Bhagavad Gitas to villages because where we stay there are a lot of villages around. So like this is like in 2020, 5,600 Bhagavad Gitas we had given. This year around 4,500. That's Radhesham Prabhu giving it to each Sarpanch. We give it to the Sarpanch of the village and we ask them to give it to the people who are interested to read the Bhagavad Gitas. Yeah. And this is one other thing. One of the devotees has started. His name is Subbarao Prabhu. He takes these Bhagavad Gitas and goes to the tribal areas in Orissa and Andhra Pradesh. And to the tribals he distributes Bhagavad Gitas. In Oriya language, in Telugu language, he gives them. I'll share some amazing things from here. Is that the tribals who come there to take Bhagavad Gita, they are announced in advance that somebody is coming to give Bhagavad Gita. They walk 20 kilometers, to come to that place and they fast throughout the day. They fast, they don't eat anything. Because they are getting Bhagavad Gita. They are so respectful to take a Bhagavad Gita. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is being worshipped in those mountainous regions. We are surprised to see in those tribal villages, there is Gaurnitai pictures in their houses, and they have Tulasi plant as their main deity. They don't have any other deity, they only have Tulasi. So very sacred. But the highest conversion rate also happens there. A lot of Christian conversion happens there. But anyway, we go and give the Bhagavad Gitas in those areas as well. So you can see some of the pictures. They are very small to see what, we literally have to walk and go. If you want to join the party, you have to be ready to walk like 30 kilometers in a day through mountains, right? And finally, when the new batches start, as I said, we sell Bhagavatams. Remember I told for the new batch we sell Bhagavatams. So once they are sold, again every year we have at least 120 to 130 new people who take Bhagavatams. And after they have taken Bhagavatam, they feel nice that they want to give Bhagavatam. So every year they also donate one Bhagavatam. So we make sure that around 400 families that we are connected to, 80-90% of them without any force, we tell them that here is Bhadra Purnima. Do you want to serve Prabhupada? You can give a Bhagavatam set. So we go and place them in temples, in Sri Vaishnava temples. There are a lot of temples, in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. They don't have any scriptures. They only do Archana, most of them. So we give them to the pujaris. We ask the pujari, are you interested to take a Bhagavatam? If you are interested to take a Bhagavatam, you have to read it. Will you read it? He says, only if they say yes. Of course, they say yes and still they don't. But we give those Bhagavatam sets. In the last 5 years, we have given 240 Bhagavatam sets to 240 temples around Hyderabad. So at least someday they'll start reading it. They have a Bhagavatam set. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Yes. I mean, say I have seen one Brahmana who does preaching, who started reading Bhagavatam in his temple now. It's a Padmanabha Swami temple, and he completely clearly is in alignment with what Prabhupada has explained about Vishnu, Narayan and Krishna. Yeah. But it takes time, Prabhu. I can't tell that it will happen this year, next year. They have the Bhagavatam set, they have it to read. So every day if they start reading it, maybe there is a dream. Our goal is all the temples in Hyderabad. We have close to maybe 1,000 temples. In the next couple of years, we want to cover all the 1,000 temples. Every temple should have Srila Prabhupada Bhagavatam set as soon as you enter. That is our goal. How it will transform into them becoming devotees, understanding our philosophy is in Krishna's hands. So that's something. So we started with 17 Bhagavatams. In 2017, we distributed 32 sets. In 2018, 57 sets. 2019, 130 sets. 2020, 198 sets. 2021, 227. We never thought we'll do anything like this. And 2022, 309 sets we finished last year. So together, by Krishna's grace, 990 Bhagavatam sets we have reached so far. And they are still going. So as I said, around 247 to Sri Vaishnava temples. Why am I showing this? It's not a status report. It's not my status report, or it's the idea that when you preach to these elite communities or rich people or the people who have some money to give, you can do a lot of projects. They will come forward and fund it without any problem, provided they first buy into our philosophy and they become part of our family. Right? So it has worked so far that way. And this year, always, Radhesham Prabhu keeps a target that we can't achieve. So he kept 250, we did 221. He kept 365, we did 309. This year he kept 500. I don't know. We will try to one day beat the target. So this is the methodology. I've showed it to you. We publicize, we capture the data, we do a DCS sessions, work week, we sell Bhagavatams. Right? So this is my contact. You can, if you want, you can take it. And if you have a pen drive, I can give you the presentation, everything. I have it with me here. The SSR sessions. There's a small channel in my name, Lilananda. It has all those sessions, 3-hour sessions that I'm talking about. You can anytime go and see them, what we do. And that's my email ID. And you want to see our Go Seva activities, there are a lot of videos. You can see that in Goshala. And anybody is taking? Yeah. Okay. Yes, Madhuri. Any questions? Yeah, you can give it to me after the class. I'll take it. Any questions at this point? So yeah. So thank you very much for your time. And please pray for us that we'll continue like this. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpa